In Commitment 2024, Senator Rick Scott claims he supports in vitro fertilization in two new TV ads. But are those claims true?
We get the facts from West 2 News political reporter Greg Fox.
IVF, in vitro fertilization, has brought beautiful babies to so many families.
This is one of two new ads from Republican Florida Senator Rick Scott that claims unconditional support for in vitro fertilization, or IVF.
And in fact, our youngest daughter is receiving IVF treatments right now, hoping to expand her family. She and I both agree IVF must be protected.
Here's the problem. While no one doubts Scott would jump into a swimming pool with his clothes on to get a laugh out of his grandkids, no one would look at his voting record and proposals and say he's all in on IVF. In fact, just the day before he released the second of his IVF political ads, he cast a vote on the Right to IVF Act, which would guarantee federal protections for the procedure. He voted against it. So the Scott ads are, at the very least, misleading. As he stated on the Senate floor, he doesn't trust the Democrat-drawn measure.
There's not a single state in the country that has outlawed IVF or that has expressed any interest in outlawing IVF.
That's what a lot of people thought before the Alabama Supreme Court ruled earlier this year that human embryos are children, putting a sudden and chaotic halt to IVF until legislators passed a new law protecting the procedure. Scott has proposed his own resolution to protect IVF, but it would support state legislative and regulatory actions, not federal protections. His own party doesn't think much of it, with just 3 Republican co-sponsors. Texas Senator Ted Cruz is sponsoring another Republican resolution introduced in May that would withhold Medicaid funding from states that don't protect IVF. In one of Scott's ads, he bemoans the very state of politics today.
Politics today is just full of it. The attack ads say the same crazy stuff about every Republican. They hate women, birth control, even IVF.
Since he brought it up, has Rick Scott voted against birth control? That's a fact. Earlier this month, on the Right to Contraception Act, Scott was a nay vote on the measure to protect access to birth control.
By now, after 8 years as governor and nearly 6 years in the Senate, Florida voters should know that Rick Scott is very conservative. Still not sure? According to GovTrack, he is the most far-right member of the U.S. Senate. With Get the Facts, I'm Greg Fox.
And we just heard from the Scott campaign within the last 15 minutes about his stance on IVF. In an email to West 2 News, a campaign spokesperson says Senator Scott has been clear that he supports contraception and IVF. This issue is personal to him as his daughter is going through IVF right now. Senator Scott supports a bill in Congress to protect access to IVF, and Democrats blocked that legislation earlier this month.